Hello everyone, welcome back to Reddo Reads. Today we have r/malicious compliance. If you want me to cover some specific subreddit in the next video, leave it in the comments. Focus on the work at hand, right? You got it, boss! Another story about Sam and Murad. My manager, Sam, is extremely chill and outstanding leader. His manager, Murad, is a sticker for the rules. I work as infrastructure and configuration manager. I also love automation and automate everyday tasks for myself, my team, and sometimes management as well. Most of management loves it. Murad is not a fan though. He wants me to focus on my own work and he loves doing things manually. So here is the story. This is from November 2022. My son had been ill for 2 weeks. He's on the mend, but requires constant monitoring to take his meds and fluids every hour. You cannot expect that discipline from a toddler. I have taken a leave for a week to focus on his recovery. In my absence, Sam has been handling most of my work. I check and reply to mails at the end of the day. I'm not required to do this, and Sam asks me not to, but I do it anyway just to get ahead of potential issues the project might face due to my absence. At the end of the week, a management meetup is scheduled. Now, only management, team manager, scrum master, system architect, is required for the call. But this type of management meetup is a potential gold mine for automation ideas, so I usually join in. In the previous 3 months, by joining this monthly meeting and taking about automation ideas that came out of them, I had saved the project and management around 100 hours of cumulative work weekly. The meeting starts on Friday morning. It is a regional holiday for a lot of people, so most have joined from home. About 20 people have joined. I have joined as well from my home. My son is sitting beside me, and I am teaching him how to play chess. The meeting doesn't really take a lot of focus from me, so my son doesn't mind. He's actually fascinated by most of my work, even though he's too young to understand any of it. Most of my teammates and Sam knows my son, having interacted with him during several calls. Suddenly, Murad joins the call. He's usually never in this call and he rarely gets along with the agenda or the way the call usually goes. The demeanor is usually pretty casual, people calling each other by names instead of official salutations, people talking in native languages sometimes. Murad, being everyone's boss and having a giant pull up his rear, commands a serious tone from every meeting he's in. However, on this very occasion, it seems he wants to join in on the casual camaraderie. He wants everyone to turn on their cameras. Everyone takes a minute and the screen starts to light up with everyone's video. It seems most have hastily put on a formal shirt. Sam chimes in asking me to keep my camera off because it's not required. Murad cuts in. The conversation goes in like this. Sam: OP, you can keep your camera off. It is not required. Murad: OP is here? Must be to take minutes. He can turn his camera on as well. Me: actually, I am on leave today. I joined in case my input is needed for any automation. Murad: that's fine, but please turn on your camera. It would be good for everyone to see everyone else. I turn my camera. Both my son and I and the chessboard between us is visible. I am using a wide-angle camera. My T reads: I work for money. For loyalty, hire a dog. Murad's face was at its widest, and it came to rest after 6 seconds with a reduction rate of 1 millimeter per second. The rest of the conversation goes like this. Murad: OP, that is not office appropriate. Me: it is quite appropriate for home though, where I currently am. Murad: you also seem to be playing chess. I would suggest you take your work seriously. Please focus on the matter at hand. Me: you are right. I should focus. Disconnect. In a call later, Sam said that while he explained to Murad that I was on leave at that moment in front of 20 other people, the sound of my disconnection felt surreal. It's currently 2024. My automations have saved the company around 430 hours and the company 250 hours weekly. Murad never joins that call anymore. I mean, I see that OP has this whole spiel about, ooh, I work for money, I'm not loyal, But then he goes and does his company a huge service and saves up 680 hours of work weekly. If this is not loyalty, I don't know what is. And I love this malicious compliance. I'm sure OP's son enjoyed it too. Y'all, we got to 200 subscribers. I am so happy. My goal for July was to get to 250 subscribers. And we are just 32 subscribers away from that. So please subscribe, you will make my day. And come back tomorrow, because I release videos every day. Just answer my simple question. Years back, I had a temporary job at the reception of a hospital. The concept of the hospital was that the external doctors could book rooms for surgery and for their patients after surgery. If they had something bigger to do, they couldn't do in their own medical practice. There was also a sleep laboratory, run by an external practice where patients stayed overnight for their examination and measurements. For that, usually the technician and the patient started coming in around 7 p.m. and they all left at 6 a.m. Usually, anything beside the measurements during sleeping were done in the medical practice, which was in walking distance in the same street. Setting: random day, somewhere way before 7 p.m., where usually nobody is in the sleep laboratory. Nice woman comes in and asks about the way to the sleep lab. I'm pretty sure that she's at the wrong location, and I explained that to her. I ask her to take a seat nearby and to give me a moment so I can check with the practice where she needs to go. She thanks me and takes a seat. While I'm still typing the number of the practice, enter awful woman. Awful woman asks the same question as nice woman. I try to explain the situation, same as before, but she aggressively interrupts me and slams something along the lines of, "It can't be so hard to answer a simple question. Tell me where the sleep lab is, now!" in my face. Cue malicious compliance. I smile and tell her the way, first floor, to the right, and so on. Awful woman walks off. I call the practice and they tell me that, as I expected, nobody is at the hospital that day and that every patient should go to the practice. And that they all should also know that, because it's on their note with the date and time for the appointment. I inform nice woman and she gets going to the practice, probably still in time for her appointment. Awful woman comes back around 15 minutes later and tells me that nobody's there. I just shrug and go back to my work. This story have to be put in dictionary next to malicious compliance, because OP did exactly what he was asked for, and I cannot imagine how it could work better than this. Pretend the lot is full. Many decades ago, when I was a student enrolled in driving school, the instructor told me to pretend the lot is full and park the car. It was very early in the morning, so the shopping mall lot where we were practicing parking was empty. I knew that the pretend it's full part was meant to emphasize the importance of driving slowly and cautiously and centering the car between the lines. But my teenage brain couldn't resist the obvious opportunity for malicious compliance. I slowly drove up and down the lanes and around that lot for at least 5 minutes before the instructor finally got flustered and barked, "What are you waiting for? Park the car!" "You told me to pretend the lot is full." I give the instructor full props for accepting the malicious compliance humor of the moment, as I watched him shake his head while his expression morphed from anger through realization and into a smiling instruction to just park the car. Ooh, I would love if OP would be driving around and just talking to themselves. "Ooh, busy day today. Not a single empty spot. Oh, that butthole parked between 2 spots. Gosh darn it." No pork. Working at Pizza Shack years ago, when a gentleman came in to order carryout. We had a special going on 1-topping large pizzas. He was a bit loud. Not mean, exactly, just very forceful, and didn't like it when anyone talked except himself. He had his way of waiting for a question, then loudly answering it halfway through. "Okay, and meat lovers," and the large, and so on. So I got the order, and so did everyone in a 3-mile radius of 3 large meat lovers pizzas. I don't think he was deaf. He seemed to hear me just fine, but it seemed like he just could not stand it if anyone else said more than 3 words. And the pan crust with no pork. Now that was a bit of an issue. The meat lovers came with pepperoni, pork sausage, Italian sausage, beef, ham, and bacon. I thought perhaps he meant specifically he wanted to leave off the pork sausage, but it was hard to tell when I was unable to form an entire sentence. Eventually, after half the windows in the place had shattered, it became clear that he wanted no pork products on his pizzas at all. So that left everything else on it is pork, apart from the cheese and sauce. I attempted to explain this. No pork, he mentioned once or twice. Okay then, I tried to tell him the price difference, but my head started to hurt. So he paid for 3 meat lovers, which cost a lot more than 1 topping pizzas, and they came with beef on them. Basically burger pellets. I left any further explanation up to my manager, who had heard the commotion from his home 3 states away. I think that what could maybe happen here, since we have no continuation of the story, is that maybe the person was a foreigner. I have seen it myself in my neighborhood pizza place, when people know only this set of words about pizza toppings, pizza size, choosing form of payment, and etc., but they're not really able to form a dialogue. Maybe that was that. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. You can also watch this awesome video or that awesome playlist. See you next time!